Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Force for Growth Show. I'm Ricardo.
I'm Courtney.
I'm Michelle, and we are doing the Word of the Week. We do this every Monday morning. It's called a program called Do 52 by House of Shine at houseofshine.com. And our word of the week for this week is
Emerge.
Emerge.
Yes.
Ooh, such a powerful word.
I've got the definition here, and then we'll go in and talk about what this word means to us. It's an awesome word. We were all excited about this word on our 6 a.m. call this morning. But some of the definitions are move out of or away from something and come into view, become apparent, important, or prominent, become known, recover from or survive a difficult or demanding situation, or break out from an egg, cocoon, or pupal case. So, you guys, what do you think about this word?
One of the middle definitions, but that you need to move away from something to be seen. That really struck deep to me, that you're not going to be seen in the arena you want to be seen until you move away from something specifically. Now, fill in the blank. You get to pick both those blanks you fill, but that was really interesting that by definition, one of the ways to look at emerge is actually, in order to emerge, you must move away from something. So that was powerful to me. So I'm curious if y'all felt the same. But
that's powerful. You do have to move away from something. You can't stay in the same mind, in the same frame with the same thoughts and expect to get new results. You have to move away from those thoughts, those feelings, those emotions in order to get new ones. Mm-hmm. You can't solve the problem with the same mind that created it.
Right.
Yeah. And also, Courtney, like you always say, let it go. So you have to let go of those limiting beliefs and emerge from those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When you don't let it go, you create a wall of resistance. Law of attraction, or all these trendy terms that we hear. The term resistance, a lot of people don't understand what that truly means. Resistance can be, I don't have time. I don't have space for that. I don't have, it's all those I don'ts in your life. You're setting up that expectation for failure before you ever give yourself a chance. So what if you set down all the I don'ts, or I won't, or, all those assumptions you have, like, who would you be without that thought? Byron Katie, that's not mine.
Who would you be without the thought? And that's a big reference to Byron Katie, The Work. You can learn more about that at thework.com. And that's Byron Katie, The Work. 3 simple questions that change your life.
Yes.
Ooh.
I know.
All right. So here we go, guys. One of the reasons we came on a little late was because Courtney's cats were emerging and coming on. But here's the thing. What did you do, Courtney? You dealt with it.
Yes.
You dealt with it.
She's being forced to cuddle right now. That's
so
why
here's
we'll
the
put
thing.
a positive twin on it.
The reason I brought that up is because it's not always you emerging to make the change. Situations can emerge that need to be handled in order for you to be able to grow.
That's a great point.
Because what happens when a situation emerges and we're not ready?
We completely eliminate the opportunity some way, somehow.
Correct.
You talk yourself out of it, or you tell yourself you can't, or that really resonates. Of the 4 agreements, don't take it personal. That's where I went with that, because stuff's going to happen, you guys. It's going to happen. It's the dodgeball team around the corner. You set a goal. Well, the next step naturally is to test your goal. So it's going to be a test, whatever happens around the corner, or a lot of things are going to fall apart to test if you were ready, or, loved ones are going to come at you and be like, I don't think that's a good idea, or, give you loving advice. It's coming from a good spot. It just might not be yours to take right now, so that's a great point. Thank you for pointing that out. But I want to pair that with don't take it personal.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Bobby says recognizing that moment is the hardest. It is. Yeah. Go ahead, Michelle. Sorry about that.
Awareness. No, I was going to say kind of the definition recover from or survive a difficult or demanding situation. That kind of goes in line with what you were just saying. Things come up and you've got to recover and emerge from those. And those that you only fail if you quit. Those are some of those lessons that you learn in personal growth and development, that if you can look at or recognize those challenging situations and recognize that they're a learning experience and take something out of that, then you emerge stronger and better than you were before. Whereas if you just look at it as a failure, I've had plenty of failures in my life, but now I can look back on them and I've overcome those, and that's made me stronger and better going forward into my future or even in my now.
Mm-hmm.
I got a question for you guys.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to get off topic. We'll bring it back up. But Courtney said, testing the goal. Do y'all think that when we start to achieve a goal, we start to accomplish a goal, we start to make progress towards a goal, that goal starts to get tested?
Mm-hmm. I do. I believe it's part of the formula. And I say that from experience because I went most years of my life trying to, be successful in these fill in the blank ways everyone else had. And it was interesting because it was like, no, there is literally a test lined up after every time after every decision you make is where I would take it another level. So anytime you decide, God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, comes in and tests that decision. And it's okay. It's just testing your conviction. If your convictions aren't strong enough for something, maybe that shouldn't be your decision. So learning that sooner rather than later is actually a good thing. But where I would do that to comfort myself, I was like, certain people in my life had great advice, but it wasn't to encourage me in the industry I was in or something. They were actually telling me, get out of it. That's a terrible idea. So I had to step back and learn that they're coming from a place of love. Is it advice I should take? Is it not advice? And just have that talk with myself. But that it was like, duh, they're always going to right there initially, right after that initial decision, when you first burn the boats, it hits the fan like it does. And so I was like, oh, so ever since then, so probably 4 or 5 years now, that's a pattern. So if you look for it, it's easy. It doesn't eliminate the test. It's still there. You just don't take it personally. And you're like, that's a test. Okay. I said I wanted to be this really strong woman. And now you're like, how strong are you? So it's breathe through it, get through it. And what emerges on the other side, Michelle, a much stronger woman who can then resonate with so many more people, because I look the test in the eye, right? Even more morning, or we had a big chat on 6 a.m. about, looking your monsters in the eye. Do you want to live with them your whole life? No. So why don't you look at them, deal with them,
and emerge.
And emerge. Thank you.
And emerge.
I think too, whenever those tests come, you've got to pay attention to them, because maybe it was a wrong decision. Maybe you need to change paths. And that's one of the biggest lessons I've learned is, I call it the square peg in a round hole concept. And I have the little Tupperware toy that's got the blue and the red and the yellow puzzle pieces that go into it. Really old toy. And that's sitting in my office, and it's to remind me, if it feels like a square peg in a round hole, then I need to change course, or I need to pay attention to what I'm doing, because I may need to change course. So just because a test comes after you make a decision, don't ignore it. It may be telling you something.
Especially if that test come over and over and over again.
Yeah. I've learned that if it feels like a square peg in a round hole, it is. You need to change course. You need to do something different.
One thing on relationship advice, I always tell anyone who talks to me about relationships and they're struggling, and it's not even really an answer, except for that they always kind of are like, wow, okay, I see. So when somebody's complaining about everyone I get with is the same, or every guy I've ever dated is the same, or every girl's always the same, I'm like, well, what lesson is the same that you're refusing to learn? And you just watch them kind of like, oh. And that can be any answer, but you just watch people kind of like, oh, okay. So if you're being handed the exact same situation over and over, work at home, at not, why? Or what skill do you maybe need to learn so you can handle these quicker, because they keep happening, So either way, you're emerging a better, stronger person because you're looking at it. You're not ignoring it.
Yep. Susan Burns says, great analogy, square peg in the round hole. Yes, that is a
Yes.
wonderful analogy. Bobby Castillo says, I call it faith, finding the answer in the heart.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. Real quick, for those of you tuning in, comment below. Let us know where you're coming in from. Most of you, we know where you're coming in from, but just comment below. Let us know that you're tuning in. Throw us a high five, a like. Let us know what city, state, region you're coming from, or whatever it is that you want to share, or just jump into the conversation. We're talking about the word emerge. I'm going to emerge with something right now. We're going to come out a little bit here. It just occurred to me, we need to figure out a way how to get people in on our lives, but screen them at the same time. I'm going to work on that. I'm going to make a note on that.
That's a good.
So we'll have to figure out how to bring people in on this live in real time to come and chat with us about the word of the week or whatever topic that we're chatting about.
So you can emerge.
So we
Yes.
can emerge. That would be good, actually. That would be fun.
That would be.
fun.
That would be awesome. Hey, we love randomness, winging it, you name it. Like, live in the moment.
Live in the moment, right? And obviously it's optional. If you want to chime in, we'll figure out a way to screen everyone that would like to chime in, and then we'll see you down here, and then we'll pop you in
That
to
would be
join
so
the
fun.
conversation in real time.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay, so let's do this in front of everybody. When are we going to do it by? Are you going to research that today, or do we want to figure it out by the next week? Make it real. If you plan it, you make it real, right? And as I'm teasing Ricardo, I'll have it known he's usually the one that turns around and asks that to me when I'm like, I was thinking like next month.
All right. How about next Monday? Word
That's
of
perfect.
the week of next Monday. Because
Okay.
it'll be what, June 29th. So we'll end the month with this experiment, with this beta test, and see how well this works.
Yes.
And just off the top of my head, we'll have to probably bring Jesse in on this to help out with that.
That
So-
works. We love Jesse appearances at all times.
Yeah, she'll have
So-
to probably screen people somehow or something, and we'll figure it out.
So, question. So, we've been talking about going through processes and then a better something emerges after. What if you decide what you want to emerge first and then go about it? And so I guess I'm asking in the form of kind of how Tony Robbins talks about chunking. You know, when you make your to-do list, put your outcome first. Then why is it important to you? And then list what you have to do, because it's going to declutter a lot of BS you didn't actually need to do because it's distracting. You know, so that's kind of where I'm asking it. But how would y'all go about, like, if you were to say, I want to emerge as this, what's your advice to people about how to go about that?
That sounds weird to me. Is it just me? I don't know. How do you want? I want to
Okay.
emerge. From
So
this.
if you pick an outcome ahead of time, what are your best tools to ensure that happens?
One of the things that in my coaching that I do, we call it structural tension chart. So this is where you want to be. This is your current reality. And then fill in the steps. So it's exactly what we do on that. We figure out, okay, where do you want to emerge? This camera's backwards. Where do you want to emerge from? Where are you currently at? And then what's it going to take to get there? And so it creates that tension to pull you up from where you are to where you want to be.
I love that.
Does that answer your question? Is
It
that what
does.
you were asking?
Yeah. I was just curious, kind of y'all, well, wise words. So I know y'all are going to say something helpful.
Let's go to the board real quick. Bobby says working backwards solves a ton of challenges. So
Yep.
reverse engineering, that's always powerful.
Yep. I always compare it to a mountain. What makes you feel better, looking up at the top of a mountain from the bottom or looking down at the bottom from the top? Just visually, what makes you feel better?
Well, I'm
If you-
scared of heights, so looking from the bottom to the top will make me feel better. And then once I get up there, looking down might give me a little bit of anxiety.
Yeah. So there you go. Ricardo's aware of his skills or not.
I'm very well aware that that's an issue of mine. That first, only time I went
Man.
skydiving.
Oh, yeah, the
No.
skywalk. I want to take him into the mountains now. Anyway, but finding a formula that works for you, and thank you
Finding a
for pointing that out.
But I, you know what? If someone wants to emerge, to me, I think, what do you want to create? Because you got to create whatever it is in order to get there, right? The vehicle. You got to create a vehicle, and most of the time, what we focus on this particular podcast is the vehicle is mindset. and then everything falls under that vehicle. But it all starts with mindset. You have to have that mindset in order to emerge. And here's the thing. When you started talking and I started thinking about it, when you emerge, is it always better, or could you emerge on the other side?
Yeah, I think there's positive, neutral, and negative with this word, if we truly look at that answer.
Yeah, because I mean, you can emerge on the other side and it might not be what you thought it was going to be. The grass may not necessarily be greener on the other side.
Right.
But what really matters is how you handle after you emerge. How do you handle that? Because I've known people that get success fast, very fast. And success could be money, whatever it is. And they emerge because they made that breakthrough. They broke through that wall and had this breakthrough, which led to success. And guess what? They weren't ready for that success.
Well, how many life coaches have we seen that make a few bucks for the first time and then they're literally like, watch a webinar, join my program for this much off, learn how to manifest $1,000 a day. And it's great that I'm trying to be real nice, y'all. It's great that they are motivated and driven to help and share their knowledge. That is great. There's just certain levels of a lot of programs out there, a lot of people out there, and just be careful if this is you. And it's okay to analyze and ask yourself this, but have you really learned the lesson on the core, or is it coming from an egoic, superficial area where you're like, oh, I emerged as this, I am now the queen. Okay, are you the queen, or did you have a great experience that taught you something that does work? Okay, but it's interesting how people it's not a one time.
Courtney is on fire today, man.
You're never successful forever. Like, you pay rent every day on success, period. And it's just funny to me that there are people who are like, I've made it. I make this. And then you watch that person work and you're like, woo, and you run the opposite direction. So it's just, there are things that work for you and there are things that work for others, but be careful to be that person. Don't be that person. Recognize your accomplishments, honor your accomplishments, share wisdom where you can. But just because you did something one time doesn't make you the expert. So be careful, because you'll lose all the lessons in between. If you just jump to that assumption, you'll miss the actual lessons and the actual ways that you're going to change the world or help people or change your industry, or, so don't go into the superficial zone. Stay very heart-centered with it in what's emerging. But if it's, social media attention and programs to teach, I don't know. It's just, y'all get what I'm saying. I hope y'all do.
Susan asks, but is that your final place of emergence? So that's kind of, funny. That's great. It's like, yeah, what's next? Mm-hmm. You grow here, you got to keep growing. You're either growing or you're dying.
That's the question right there. What's next? Mm-hmm. Never settle. Just because you reach that plateau, there's always something going to be next, because most of the time we're not going to be happy with whatever goal that we reach. We got to continue to stretch ourselves. We want to make $1 million because, let's just face it, money is on the top of the mind for most people. You make $1 million, you reach it. You got to ask what's next. And real quick, Bobby says, love that analogy. You pay the rent every day on success.
I love that too.
I'm pretty sure that's from a Lady Gaga song, so I can't take credit for it.
Wow, I would have never known.
With that said, that is a very wise comment, and I've never forgot it. So yeah.
Let's see here, Lori. Hi, Lori. Courtney Carr speaks truth every day.
I love Lori.
Every day.
Rent.
Be aware of
rent every day.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Be
I think
aware.
She meant rent.
Yeah, you pay rent every day. Pay rent every day. Mm-hmm. Be aware of who is close enough to play something in your drink, good, bad, or indifferent.
Yes,
man. If I'm going to read everything verbatim of what they type, people are going to have to type the right stuff.
Thank you for that, Lori. Yeah, exactly. Like that's the exact point. Is y'all, your friend, your best friend, your mom can mean the best in the world, but they might be poisoning your drink and they don't know it. But you're
Yeah.
oblivious, just drinking your drink. Like, like, hello, you would never let a friend just set a drink down at a bar and just walk off and then come back and drink it. So why are you doing that with your own life?
Ooh. Wow. Lori really went to town with that one and opened it up, man, with the drink analogy. That is true, though. Be aware of who's close enough to place something in your drink.
Yeah.
Because poison will kill you in increments, one drop at a time. Over the course of a month will get you.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't even identify, you don't even taste that drop.
Right.
Man.
And your tolerance gets built so you don't see it. Yeah.
It is.
Man, we could keep going with the analogies here.
We could. We're emerging with lots of stuff here on the word emerge. So down below, comment below. Let us know what the word emerge means to you. What are you emerging from today? It's Monday. It's a great day. We're fixing to end the month. We're fixing to end the first half of the year in 1 week. The first half, guys. 6 months.
I'm excited.
Are gone. So the first half of the year is officially getting ready to wrap up in about 8 days. Ooh.
I'm excited, but I will say, who has it been a 6 months? Oh my goodness. It has been a 6 months. I earned this excitement. But yeah, going in, there's a new level I want to achieve, new things, new skills, new expertise, and I'm excited about that.
So where are we emerging on the second half of 2020? I'm asking this for everyone in general, but go ahead, Michelle.
I think from our discussion this morning on our 6 a.m. call, emerging from what's holding us back.
Emerging, yes. And for those wondering, the 6 a.m. morning momentum calls are every Monday and Thursday. Since we're talking about that, everyone's like, what call are y'all talking about? What call is this? It's the 6 a.m. Central Standard Time call. For more information on that, you can visit 6amtribe.com. That's 6amtribe.com.
Yes. And we lock it at 6:10 or 6:15. What was our decision?
6:10.
We a lot of us are sleeping in and getting on late. Now I'll own it. I've done it too. So anyway, so we do lock the call now. So that is interesting. But
hey man, we got to do
what
our
conversations get so juicy. We can't interrupt them.
Oh, but juicy is a good word.
I love that word. I get teased for it, but I love it. I'd use it so much in
Why are we laughing so much
realm
today? We shouldn't be laughing so much. Why are we laughing so much?
Because we're done taking ourselves so seriously. Like, y'all, just, it's okay. I don't know. That's my thought, at least.
Let's show Lori some love. Lori says, emerging a better version of myself and part of something larger.
Yes.
It's got to be larger. You got to shoot for larger. I don't think we ever consciously shoot for emerging on the other side or for smaller.
Not on purpose, but it does happen.
It does
by
happen.
default. On autopilot, you will get smaller.
But we don't ever intentionally choose to go smaller. I guess unless you're trying to lose weight, right, Michelle? Then by default,
true.
You do try to
be our resident health coach, please.
Yeah, you do. The intention is to get smaller if you're losing weight, but for the most part, we shoot for bigger and better, right? All right. So, final thoughts, Michelle Martini. The word emerge or anything else that's on your mind.
Let's just emerge on this Monday and have an awesome week.
I love it. Yes.
Courtney Carr.
Have a better week than last week.
Yes.
Ooh, a better week than last week, whatever that means to you. Yes.
Yeah.
Courtney Carr.
Just like fall on your face, like fail and just do it and try and see what happens and see if you like the person that comes out on the other side. If you don't, change it again. Like, just like be open-minded. Your brain isn't going to fall out. It's going to be okay, but you won't know unless you try it. So really pick something that it doesn't matter if you fail or not. Like, just practice trying things and not doing good. Like, practice being a beginner. Okay. And just, why not? So ask yourself, why not more? But yes, by default, I think you'll have a much better week and more exciting by nature. Hey, at minimum, it's going to be an adventure, right?
Yes. I'll piggyback off that with Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan says, man, Michael Jordan's been getting a lot of play on our videos. But one thing Michael Jordan, he kind of does. Like, he needs a little mini camera. One thing that Michael Don't get me started. Don't be giving me no
I was
ideas.
like, whoops.
Jesse's probably like, Courtney, shut
I'm
up.
sorry,
Don't give
Jesse.
Ricardo
I'm
no
sorry,
ideas.
Jesse. Okay. Love you.
Oh, he fell off his little stand. I have to
He
fix
has
him in
a
a little.
stand.
Michael Jordan says, I can't worry about the shots I haven't taken. He can't worry about the shots that he hasn't taken. There's no point.
Yep.
There's no point in worrying about the shots that you haven't taken.
Can I end on the shots that we have? And I bet you Michael Jordan doesn't sit there and wonder about every shot he's missed. He let it freaking go. So on that note, like, if you have missed a shot, let it go. Like, chill out. Let it go.
Yep.
It's weighing you down.
Yep. All right. This was a great conversation, guys. Thank you so much for those of you who tuned in. Make sure you comment below and catch the replay. Like and share this video. Subscribe to our YouTube or the audio podcast. For more information, you can visit forceforgrowth.com. And we'll be back on Wednesday.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye,